Hello and good afternoon. The neo-Nazi movement, National Action, is to become the first extreme right-wing group to be banned as a terrorist organisation.
The Home Secretary Amber Rudd described them as a racist, anti-Semitic and homophobic organisation.
Well, it means in practice that being a member of National Action or encouraging support for it will become a criminal offence. Our senior correspondent Ian Woods has been following this story. Ian, why have the government felt the need to do this?
It puts them in the same category as Islamic State and Al-Qaeda, and people might think that's a bit over the top for an organisation which has got probably fewer than 200 active members. But there has been criticism that there's a dual standard here, that they operate in the same way by inciting people to take their own action, take the law into their own hands. But whereas if you were an Islamic hate preacher, you would be prosecuted under terrorism legislation. If you're under this kind of thing, far right, it would be a criminal offence. Thomas Mair, the man who killed the Labour MP Joe Cox, was prosecuted as a criminal matter rather than as a terrorist. And because of that kind of dual standard, the government decided it was going to bring it in line, decided it was going to implement this before the trial of Thomas Mair, but didn't want to influence the trial, so only now is it announced that this is going to happen. This is what Amber Rudd had to say a short time ago.
National Action is a vile group. They promote homophobia, they promote violence and terrorism, and they have no place in this country. That's why I'm taking this action today. Well, this will very clearly make membership and glorification of National Action a criminal offence. This will give the police and the courts extra powers to go after people who are those members.
Home Secretary talks about a criminal offence. So what sort of offences are we talking about, Ian?
Well, let's have a look at the pictures that you can see of a National Action rally, and there have been many up and down the country. And the way they do this is that they keep it secret until the last possible moment, alert their members in secret, and then the police have to react to it at the last moment. It gives the impression that they're a very active organisation, but it's basically the same people turning up to lots of different events, filming them, putting them online, giving the impression that they're more active than they are. It's a different group from what we've seen in the far right in the past. They're basically young men, quite well-educated young men, and they operate on this kind of basis to try to provoke other people to take action. Now, have they actually prompted people into committing criminal offences? Well, there was someone who had links to National Action who just last week was jailed for trolling the Labour MP Luciana Berger. Joshua Bonehill Payne was his name. He had been contacting her and trolling her over a relatively long period of time. There was another case in Wales last year in which someone called Zach Davis attacked a Sikh dentist and tried to behead him in a supermarket. He too was found to have National Action material in his house. But this is what Luciana Berger, the MP, said in terms of whether we think it's a good idea to be banning an organisation versus the normal British instinct to promote free speech.
Well, there's a very clear line in this country about where free speech crosses that line into hate speech. And we have a responsibility to ensure that people live free from fear of attack, be that online or offline. They should be dealt with in exactly the same way. And unfortunately, we know that there are cases where what happens online trickles over into what happens in real life in terms of physical attacks.
So the effect of this ban means that it will now be an offence to turn up at a demonstration like this, an organisation like this, using the National Association banners. The police can now take action under terrorism legislation.
Okay, thanks, Ian.
Thank you.